These comments to our two fallen Africans, our young brother Cyrus Carmack-Belton of Columbia, South Carolina. Our hearts and prayers and condolences and sympathies are with the family of 14-year-old Cyrus Carmack-Belton, who was shot in the back by a racist Asian. Shot in the back by a racist Asian gas station owner. So rest in peace to brother Cyrus. If the family is raising money, please send me the link so I can post it on my social media so African people can contribute to whatever expenses Cyrus's family has to properly lay our young brother to rest. Okay, we have to start using our money to take care of ourselves as a people. Just like when that white man choked our brother to death in the New York City subway a few weeks ago. White folks gave him $2 million overnight. $2 million overnight. They said white folks were donating almost $1,000 a minute to that killer, that New York City subway killer. They were giving him $1,000 a minute. Donations were coming in so strong. Donations were coming in so strong that the platform that they used to raise money for the subway killer almost shut down. They had to reboot the platform 3 or 4 times. That's how much money white folks were donating to keep that killer out of jail. That's how much money white folks were donating to keep that subway killer out of jail. So if they can donate $2 million overnight, if white folks can donate $2 million to keep a killer out of prison, black people should be able to donate enough money for brother Cyrus's family to properly lay that young man to rest. I also want to donate my comments to our sister, AJ Owens, 35-year-old mother of 4, shot through the door by a snow bunny in Ocala, Florida. Shot through the door by a snow bunny in Ocala, Florida. Shot through the door. 35-year-old mother of 4 shot through the door by a snow bunny. And the snow bunny has not been arrested, has not been charged. The snow bunny has not been arrested, has not been charged. I repeat, the white woman who shot our sister AJ Owens through the door in front of her children, oh yes, shot her through the door in front of her children. The snow bunny killer who shot Sister AJ and killed her, shot and killed her through the door in front of her children, has not been arrested, has not been charged. So this is interesting because the President of the United States, the Vice President of the United States, neither one of these democratically elected government officials flew down to Columbia, South Carolina to meet with brother Cyrus's family or the black community. Neither one of them flew down to Ocala, Florida to meet with Sister AJ's children, family, or the black community. Now, a couple of years ago, when the Asian women were killed in Atlanta, when the Asian women were murdered in Atlanta, the president and vice president flew down to Atlanta, Georgia, and had a face-to-face meeting with the Asians and their community. A face-to-face meeting with the Asians and their community. A face-to-face meeting with the Asians and their community. President Biden signed an executive order within 48 hours. An executive order, anti-Asian hate, executive order within 48 hours. And the U.S. Congress passed the first ever anti-Asian hate bill with almost no opposition. U.S. Congress, Democrats and Republicans together passed the first comprehensive anti-Asian hate bill with no opposition. And you know how Democrats and Republicans like to fight and sabotage each other. But when it came to protecting Asian people, they passed the anti-Asian hate bill with no opposition. One of the fastest bills ever passed in American history. So why we don't get the same energy for Cyrus Carmack-Belton? I want to ask President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris why we don't get the same energy for the 14-year-old shot in the back running away by the racist Asian gas station owner. Why we don't get the same energy for Sister AJ Owens, Ocala, Florida. Where is the meeting with her family and the black community of Ocala, Florida? Oh, y'all don't have time. The president and vice president don't have time. You know why? Because they're too busy bragging about, they are too busy boasting about, they're too busy celebrating their historic anti-Semitic federal hate crimes program. Oh yes, Kamala Harris is all over the news. The part-time black woman, Kamala Harris. Part-time black woman, Kamala Harris, is all over the media bragging about this historic, comprehensive, first ever anti-Semitic federal intervention program. Kamala Harris says they have 100 strategies. You can't make this up, brothers and sisters. You can't make this up, brothers and sisters. They said they have over 100 strategies to combat anti-Semitism in the United States. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. How did you get time to brainstorm 100 different actions, 100 different ideas, 100 different strategies to stop anti-Semitism? But you ain't got a single bill. You don't have a single bill. You got 100 strategies to combat anti-Semitism, but you don't have a single bill, not a single law to stop black people from being murdered by police or white civilians. Not a single law to stop black people from being murdered by white police or racist civilians. Somebody help me out. But Joe Biden was at Howard University, which never should have happened, by the way. Which never should have happened, by the way. I'm disappointed in the administration of Howard University. I'm disappointed in the administration of Howard University for allowing Joe Biden to use your commencement exercise. I am totally disgusted with the administration of Howard University for allowing Joe Biden to use the commencement program of Howard University, a time that should be dedicated to celebrating your undergraduates who completed their program and your master's students who completed their program, and their graduate, your PhD and MD and JD students completing their program. You were supposed to be celebrating Black academic excellence. Howard University, your commencement program was supposed to be used to celebrate Black academic excellence, and you allowed the Democratic Party. You allowed the Democratic Party. You allowed Joe Biden to turn the commencement program of Howard University. You allowed Joe Biden to turn the commencement program of Howard University into a campaign speech, into a damn campaign speech for votes. That was not a commencement address. As someone who gives commencement addresses, as one of the greatest commencement speakers of all time, I can tell you that was not a commencement address. That was a campaign speech. Joe Biden said nothing about those young people who were graduating at Howard University. That was a damn campaign speech that should have been saved for CNN or C-SPAN or headline news or the front page of the newspaper. You don't let no damn politician who has turned his back on Black people turn the commencement address of the most celebrated historically Black college in America into a damn campaign speech. I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed in Howard University. Now let's get back to this conversation. Let's talk about Rick Chow. Let's talk about the anti-African Asian racist Rick Chow. Can we spend a few minutes talking about this anti-African racist Rick Chow? And did you notice, brothers and sisters, I'm live from Boston, Massachusetts right now. I'm live from Boston, Massachusetts right now. I'm live from Boston, Massachusetts right now. I'm speaking tonight, 340 Warren Avenue in Brockton. I'm speaking tonight, 340 Warren Avenue in Brockton, Massachusetts. Doors at 5. I speak at 6. Book signing at 8. Doors at 5. I speak at 6. Book signing at 8 p.m. in Brockton, Massachusetts tonight. 340 Warren Avenue. Tomorrow I'm speaking in Philadelphia. 2301 Snyder Avenue. Tomorrow, Wednesday, June 7th, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. 2301 Snyder Avenue. Sunday, Huntsville, Alabama. Sunday, Huntsville, Alabama. 181 Import Circle Northwest. Tonight, doors open at 5. Tomorrow in Philly, doors open at 5. Sunday in Huntsville, doors open at 5. Let's get back to Rick Chow. Brothers and sisters, did you notice that the media didn't want to tell us that Rick Chow was an Asian? Did y'all catch that? Did y'all catch the fact that the media would not reveal the race of the man who murdered 14-year-old Cyrus? I want to know if y'all noticed that. I want y'all to see how the media is covering up anti-African hate crimes in the United States. Did y'all catch that? Did y'all catch that? We didn't learn that Cyrus was murdered by an anti-Black Asian racist until the local brothers and sisters in Columbia, South Carolina decided to expose the truth. The media did not tell us he was an Asian. The media did not tell us that he was an Asian. The same thing happened with Sister AJ in Ocala, Florida. The same thing happened with Sister AJ in Ocala, Florida. They didn't tell us that Sister AJ was shot by a snow bunny. They did not tell us that a snow bunny murdered our 35-year-old mother of four sister. We didn't find out that Sister AJ was murdered by a snow bunny until the brothers and sisters in Florida made it public. Until the brothers and sisters in Florida made it public. Until the brothers and sisters in Florida made it public. So, Rick Child, 58 years old. Did y'all know that Rick Child, the anti-black Asian racist who shot 14-year-old Cyrus in the back, did y'all know that Rick Child, the 58-year-old anti-black Asian racist who shot 14-year-old Cyrus in the back in Columbia, South Carolina, did y'all know he shot at black customers in 2015, was not arrested? He shot at black customers in 2018 and was not arrested. Did y'all know that, brothers and sisters? Did y'all know that this anti-black Asian racist who shot and killed our 14-year-old son, shot at black customers before? This wasn't his first time. This is not the first time Rick Child shot at black people. He shot at black people in 2015. He shot at black people in 2018. He was never arrested and he was never charged. Do you know what that means? Do you know what that means? It is perfectly legal in the United States of America. It is perfectly legal in the United States of America for Asians and whites to shoot at black people. It is perfectly legal in the United States of America for Asians and white people to shoot at black people and get away with it. Perfectly legal. The only law that matters in this country is Dred Scott. The only law that matters in America is Dred Scott. Supreme Court Chief Justice Roger B. Taney said the black man has no rights that the white man is bound to respect. That now includes Asians. The Dred Scott case now includes Asians. The Dred Scott case now includes Asians. Not only do black people have no rights white people must respect, black people have no rights that Asians must respect either. If Rick Child would have been held accountable for shooting at black people in 2015, Cyrus may still be alive. If Rick Child was held accountable for shooting at Africans in 2018, Brother Cyrus may still be alive. But because the sheriff of Columbia, South Carolina, didn't feel that Rick Child's previous homicide attempts against black people, the sheriff of Columbia, South Carolina, didn't feel that Rick Child's previous homicide attempts against black life was sufficient enough to warrant an arrest. Rick Child came to the conclusion last Sunday. Rick Child came to the conclusion last Sunday that I can probably get away with killing one if I can get away with shooting at two. I can probably get away with killing one if I can get away with shooting at two. I can probably get away with killing one if I can get away with shooting at two. I'm going to come to Cornell West in a minute. I'm going to come to Cornell West in a minute. I'm going to come to Cornell West in a minute. Cornell West is our preeminent black multiculturalist scholar. Dr. Umar is our preeminent black nationalist scholar. I'm going to come to Cornell in a minute. I respect Dr. West. I do. I respect him. Even though he's a colorblind multiculturalist and integrationist, I respect him as an elder. I'm going to deal with his presidential bid in a minute because I think this might be a devil in a blue dress. I think him running for president might be a scam, and I'm going to tell you why. It might be a scam, and I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why. We're going to go back to Al Sharpton's run for president, Jesse Jackson's run for president, and we're going to tie it to Cornel West's run for president. But before I get to Cornel, before I get to Elder Cornel West, let's stick with Rick Child, the anti-black Asian racist who shot 14-year-old Cyrus. Did y'all know Brother Cyrus was a magnet student enrolled in the STEM program at his magnet school? Did you all know Brother Cyrus Carmack-Belton, rest in peace, the 14-year-old young brother who was shot and killed by anti-black racist Rick Child, was a magnet student enrolled in the STEM program at his middle school in Columbia, South Carolina. Brother Cyrus wasn't no thug. He wasn't no gangbanger. He wasn't no drug dealer. He was a regular black boy enjoying his childhood. He was in the STEM program, science, technology, engineering, and math. This brother may have went on to be one of our greatest inventors. Brother Cyrus might have went on to be one of our greatest scientists. Brother Cyrus might have went on to be one of our greatest scholars, but he won't ever get to see that chance. He will never get to realize his future dreams because the sheriff of Columbia, South Carolina, made it safe for Rick Child, the anti-black Asian, to shoot at black people in 2015 and get away with it. Shoot at black people in 2018 and get away with it. So he finally kills Brother Cyrus last Sunday. So Brother Cyrus will never get a chance to become that great black scientist we were waiting on him to be, because the police of Columbia, South Carolina has made it real comfortable for Asians to shoot at black people and get away with it. And then Rick Child and his son, so the anti-black Asian father and his anti-black Asian son, chased Cyrus out the gas station. They chased this child out the gas station. They lied and said Cyrus was trying to steal water. They lied and said Cyrus was trying to steal water. When they searched Cyrus's body, Cyrus had no stolen merchandise on his person. Falsely accused of stealing from Asians who steal from the black community every day. 14-year-old ancestor Cyrus Carmack-Belton was accused of stealing dollar waters. So what if he took $1 water? So what if he took $1 water and he took nothing at all? It was confirmed Cyrus stole nothing at all from that dusty Asian chop shop. He stole nothing from that dusty stop and go. But they lied and said he stole some dollar waters. And then they lied and said he had a gun. Cyrus didn't have no damn gun. They planted a gun on the ground next to Cyrus, hoping that by planting the gun, they would get off. By planting the gun, they figured they would get off on stand your ground. They wanted to make Cyrus's execution a case of self-defense. Rick Child and his racist son wanted to make Cyrus's execution look like another case of stand your ground. How in the hell are you standing your ground shooting a child in the back as he ran? You shot him in the back with a Glock 30, brothers and sisters. Rick Child pulled out a Glock 30. I'ma say it again. I'ma say it again. I'ma say it again. Rick Child pulled out a Glock 30. You don't pull out a Glock 30. You don't pull out a Glock 30 unless you planning on taking somebody's life. He shot that brother in the back, one bullet from a Glock 30 that hit the brother's heart, ricocheted through his body, and brother Cyrus' spirit was released from his flesh. Brothers and sisters, now Rick Child was arrested. Rick Child was arrested. I don't know if he's been released on bond yet. I do not know. Rick Child was arrested. But that doesn't mean anything. We don't care about arrests. We don't care about charges. We don't care about conviction. We care about one thing: the sentencing. The sentencing. Brothers and sisters, I need you to get out of the habit. Brothers and sisters, I need you to get out of the habit of celebrating arrests. George Zimmerman was arrested. George Zimmerman was charged. George Zimmerman is free today. George Zimmerman was arrested. George Zimmerman was charged. George Zimmerman is free today. That snow bunny who murdered Dante up in Minnesota 2 years ago. Remember our mixed race brother, Dante? I forget his last name. Right outside of Minneapolis. Remember him? The mixed race African brother, Dante, the young father. He was shot and killed by a snow bunny police officer who claimed she mistook her gun for a taser. Do y'all remember that? The snow bunny who murdered brother Dante in Minnesota. Who remembers that? The snow bunny who murdered brother Dante Wright. Thank you, brother Hughes Russell. Dante Wright was shot and murdered by a snow bunny in Minnesota who claimed she mistook her gun for a taser. She's home. She was released on good behavior. She was arrested. She was charged. She was convicted. She was sentenced, and she went home after 1 year on good behavior. She went home after 1 year on good behavior. She went home after 1 year on good behavior. So I don't want to catch nobody celebrating no damn arrests, celebrating no damn charges, celebrating no damn convictions. We only celebrate the charges, the sentencing, and we don't even celebrate the sentencing because they can still get out like the snow bunny in Minnesota did on good behavior. Remember the police in Chicago who shot Laquan McDonald? Remember the white police who shot Laquan McDonald in Chicago? He was charged, he was convicted, and he's home today on good behavior. Can somebody explain to me, how can a killer police go home early on good behavior? I need somebody to help me out. I need somebody to help me understand, overstand, and understand. I need somebody to help me understand, overstand, and understand. How do you kill an innocent, defenseless black person as a police officer sworn to uphold the law? You are sworn to uphold the law, to protect and serve civilian life. Your job consists of you protecting and defending civilian life. You get sentenced to jail for killing an innocent black person. You get sentenced to jail for killing an innocent black person, and you go home on good behavior. How in the hell is good behavior possible for a police officer who dishonored his or her duty by murdering an innocent person, how in the hell do you go home early on good behavior? Laquan McDonald's killer is home on good behavior. Dante Wright's killer is home on good behavior. So I don't want to hear nobody celebrating no damn arrests. Shot in the back as he ran away. Shot in the back as he ran away. And then check this out. Check this out. According to the sheriff of Columbia, South Carolina, and my Columbia Africans, my Columbia, South Carolina Africans, I was with you for Juneteenth last year. I won't be with you this year. But y'all got to get organized. Y'all got to get organized. That gas station can never reopen again. Y'all better show up to Rick Child's arraignment. Y'all better show up to Rick Child's. That courtroom in Columbia, South Carolina better be packed with South Carolina Africans. I don't want to hear no excuses. If you live in South Carolina, you better show up and show out to Rick Child's court hearing. You better be at the arraignment. You better be in the jury selection. And we better have adequate black jury representation. We better have adequate black jury representation in Rick Child's case. We better. And to all my black sisters across America, to all my black women across America who keep on giving these Asians $30 billion a year for fake hair and fake weave. To all my black sisters across America who love giving the Asian hair care industry $30 billion for wigs, weaves, and perms. I want you to know you're contributing to Rick Child's defense fund. Oh, yes. If you don't think these Asian hair care store owners, if you don't think they not donating your money to Rick Child's defense fund, you're out of your mind. Oh, yes. Every time you buy a weave, you donating to Rick Child's defense fund. Every time you buy some perm, you donating to Rick Child's defense fund. Every time you get some blonde hair color, you donating to Rick Child's defense fund. I want every black woman who's headed to the Asian hair care store today, I want you all to know, all my self-hating black sisters, I want you to know that your weave money, your perm money, your hair care money is going to defend Rick Child after he murdered our 14-year-old son, Cyrus Carmack-Belton. You know what we need to do, black men? I'm talking to my alpha males right now. I'm talking to my anti-snow bunny black alpha males right now. I'm talking to my anti-snow bunny black men. We need to have a national boycott the hair care store day. What do you think about that, black man? Sisters not going to do it. Sisters are not going to do it. They care more about their hair than black life. I'm talking to my anti-snow bunny, unapologetically African alpha males. Black men, what do y'all think? Black men, can we organize a national Asian hair care store boycott day? We are going to be at the store all day. Every Asian hair care store in America will have anti-snow bunny black men outside, and we not letting no sisters in there to shop. Can we do it for one day? And then we're going to do it for 1 week. And then we're going to do it for 1 month. And then we're going to do it for 1 year. And then we're going to do it until black women find something else to do with their $30 billion in hair care money. Oh, yes. I'm not attacking my queens. I love my queens. I'm not attacking my queens. I love my queens. But black women, you can't expect me to sit by and let you contribute to Rick Child's defense fund. I'm sorry. You cannot expect me to sit by and let you continue to finance Rick Child's defense fund. Shot that boy in the back with the Glock 30. Shot him in the back as he ran away with a Glock 30. And then planted a gun next to the boy trying to get off. Brothers and sisters, let's move on to Sister AJ's assassination. Shall we move on to Sister AJ's assassination? Shall we move on to, I'm going to come to Chicago and New York's migrant crisis in a minute. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I'm not getting off this live without talking about New York City Mayor Eric Adams. I'm not getting off this live without talking about Chicago, Illinois Mayor Brandon Johnson. We better not be related. Brandon Johnson, you better not be related to me, sir, because we're going to have a conference of cousins to deal with your cooning. I said, Brandon Johnson, mayor of Chicago, Illinois, if I find out that you and I are related, we're going to have a conference of cousins to deal with your cooning. I'm going to get to Chicago and New York. Let's stay focused on the African life we have lost. Let's stay focused on the African life that we have lost. Let's stay focused on the African life that we have. Rest in peace to Brother Cyrus. If his family has a GoFundMe or any other crowdfunding platform, please text that to my cell phone, brothers and sisters, so I can post it so we can donate. 215-989-9858 is my cell number. 215-989-9858 is my cell number. 215-989-9858 is my cell phone number. Brockton, Massachusetts, I will see you tonight at 340 Warren Avenue. Brockton in Boston, Massachusetts, I will see you tonight at 340 Warren Avenue. Tonight, doors open up at 5. I speak at 6. Book signing at 8. 340 Warren Avenue in Brockton, Massachusetts. Connecticut Africans, come on over. Rhode Island Africans, come on down. New Hampshire Africans, come on down. Maine, Vermont Africans, come on down. Northern New York Africans, come on up. And then tomorrow, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, my city of birth. Philadelphia, we will be in South Philly at 2301 Snyder Avenue. Tomorrow, doors open at 5. I speak at 6. Book signing at 8. Tomorrow in Philadelphia, doors at 5. I speak at 6. Book signing at 8. That's 2301 Snyder Avenue in Philadelphia. And then Huntsville, Alabama, Sunday, June 11th in Huntsville, Alabama. We will be at 181 Import Circle Northwest. 181 Import Circle Northwest this Sunday, June 11th in Huntsville, Alabama. Doors at 5. I speak at 6. Book signing at 8. Sister AJ, mother of 4 beautiful black children who are now traumatized, having saw their mother shot through the door by an old, crusty snow bunny. Shot and killed through the door by an old, crusty snow bunny. So Sister AJ, 35-year-old beautiful sister in Ocala, Florida, had an ongoing issue with her racist white snow bunny neighbor. The police were called out to deal with this ongoing conflict between 35-year-old mother of 4, Sister AJ, and her white, crusty snow bunny neighbor. They've been at it for a year and a half. According to the police, they've been called out to this apartment complex at least 6 times over the past 18 months. 6 times over the past 18 months. Do y'all know what that means? Do y'all know what that means? Does anybody know what that means? That means Sister AJ been calling the police on this snow bunny. Sister AJ been calling the police on this snow bunny for a year and a half. Sister AJ been calling the police on this snow bunny for a year and a half, and the police did nothing about her racism. The police did nothing about her racism. She's about 50. She's in her 50s. The white woman is in her 50s. Sister AJ is only 35, so she's old enough to be her mother. She's old enough to be the grandmother of those black children. So the police didn't do nothing about her harassment of Sister AJ and her children because she was an old, privileged snow bunny. Just like in Columbia, South Carolina, the police did nothing about Rick Child because he was an old, racist Asian. So we have old white privilege and old Asian privilege. So they never do anything about Sister AJ being harassed. Never. What precipitated Sister AJ's execution was this white woman threw a pair of skates at AJ's, one of her children. I'm going to say it again. She threw a pair of skates at the head of one of AJ's children. Let me say it one more time. This old, crusty, privileged snow bunny threw a pair of skates at one of AJ's children and then stole their iPad, took their iPad into her home. Now, I want y'all to stay with me. I want y'all to stay with me for a minute here. I want you to understand, overstand, and understand. I believe that the snow bunny stole the iPad in order to force Sister AJ to come to her home. Listen to me, brothers and sisters. This was a premeditated execution. I'm going to say it again. I don't give a damn what Ben Crump got to say about it. I don't give a damn what Ben Crump got to say about it. I don't give a damn what Benjamin Crump got to say about it. This was premeditated murder. This was premeditated. Think about it, brothers and sisters. Somebody throws a pair of skates at your child. Somebody throws a pair of skates at your child, and then they take the iPad. They take your child's iPad into their home. Anybody with common sense knows. Anybody with common sense knows. Anybody with common sense knows if you throw something at my child and then you steal my iPad by taking it into your home, you know I'm coming to see you. You know I'm coming to see you, especially when we've been having an ongoing vendetta for 18 months. We've been at this for 18 months. I've called the police on you 6 times at least. They never do nothing. So now you throw the skates at my child and then you steal the iPad. You know I'm coming. And when I knock on your door, you don't call the police. You don't call the police when I knock on your door. Instead, you pull out your firearm and shoot me through the door in front of my children. You don't call the police. You don't do anything like that. Instead, you pull out your firearm and shoot me through the door in front of my children. And guess what happens as a result of you shooting and killing me through the door in front of my children? You do not get arrested. You do not get arrested. You do not get arrested, and you do not get charged for murder. Lord have mercy. Can somebody, Florida, what's going on in Florida? Do I need to come on down to Ocala? Do I need to come on down to Ocala, Florida? I hope my Ocala, Florida Africans are protesting and organizing. I hope y'all calling the mayor. I hope y'all calling the governor. I hope y'all calling the sheriff. Don't tell me my African brothers and sisters in Ocala, Florida are taking this sitting down. Don't tell me my brothers and sisters in Ocala, Florida are taking this sitting down. Don't tell me my brothers and sisters in Columbia, South Carolina are taking this sitting down. Don't tell me my southern state Africans are letting white folks get away with cold-blooded murder of our children and our mothers. Cold-blooded murder of our children and our mothers. Don't tell me that Florida and South Carolina is letting this go. Don't tell me black Florida and black South Carolina is letting this go. And guess what the sheriff said, brothers and sisters? Guess what the sheriff said? The sheriff said they are investigating the case. No charges will be filed. No arrests will take place until they are done investigating the murder. Brothers and sisters, is this some bull jive, or is this some bull jive? To use a Shannon Sharpe word, is this some bull jive, or is this some bull jive? To use a Shannon Sharpe word, is this some bull jive, or is this some bull jive? How in the hell do you murder somebody through a door where you are totally protected? You don't call the police or nothing. You murder a mother in front of her 4 children after you stole their iPad and threw the skates at their head, and you don't go to jail. They are investigating. What is there to investigate? Ocala, Florida, we need to march on the mayor's office, and we need to march on the sheriff's office. We need to march on the chief of police office. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Get your protest shoes on. Get your protest shoes on. Get your protest shoes on. Come on, Ocala, Florida. I don't know how many black folks live in Ocala. I don't know if y'all close to Orlando or where y'all at. Where y'all at? St. Petersburg. I don't know where y'all at, but Florida, y'all can't let this go. This mother is dead. Her children saw her murdered in front of their face by this old crusty snow bunny, and she has not been arrested. Where is the NAACP of Florida? Who is the president of the Florida NAACP? Where is the Florida Urban League at? Where is Al Sharpton and his National Action Network? Where is Al Sharpton and his where is the black churches of Ocala, Florida? Where are the community-based organizations of Ocala, Florida? Where are they? And guess what the sheriff said? He said Sister AJ should have called the police. Oh, Lord have mercy. Brothers and sisters, the sheriff said that Sister AJ should have called the police and not taken the law into her own hands. Did you hear what that old crusty snow puppy just said? He said Sister AJ should have called the police. I beg your pardon, sir. She been calling y'all for 18 months. She been calling y'all for 18 months. She been calling y'all for a year and a half. If I've been calling the police for a year and a half, if I've been calling the police for a year and a half, why in the hell would I call you now if you never done anything the previous 6 to 8 visits? Why would I bother calling the white police on a white woman? Why would I bother calling the white police on a white woman if the police didn't do anything the previous 8 times you came out to my house? The sheriff is trying to make an excuse. The sheriff is trying to make an excuse. The sheriff is trying to make an excuse. So you mean to tell me that a black mother can't knock on the door of a white woman who stole her child's iPad and threw skates at their head? Are you telling me black mothers are not allowed to approach white women? Is that what the sheriff is saying? Because it sounds like the sheriff is trying to tell us that the black woman has no right to approach the white woman. Is that what the sheriff just said? Is that what the sheriff just said? Because it sounds like the sheriff just said that no black woman has any right knocking on a white woman's door, even if they stole your iPad, even if they threw skates at your child. Dred Scott law is the only law of America. Dred Scott law is the only law that applies to black people in America. She should have called the police. How is knocking on the door taking the law in my own hands? How is knocking on the door taking the law in my own hands? How is going to retrieve my child's iPad and finding out why you threw skates at my child? How is that taking the law into my own hands? You know what? This sounds like Brother Ralph Yarl's case in Kansas City. This sounds like Brother Ralph Yarl's case in Kansas City. This sounds like Brother Ralph Yarl's case. Let me give y'all an update on Brother Ralph Yarl before we come to Cornell West. Rest in peace. If there's a GoFundMe or other crowdfunding initiative underway to make sure Sister AJ is properly laid to rest and that her children is properly cared for. And let me say this to my brothers and sisters in Florida. Not just Ocala, I'm talking to Black Florida right now. I'm talking to Black Florida from Jacksonville to Miami. I'm talking to Black Florida right now. I'm talking to Black Florida from Jacksonville to Miami. I'm talking to Black Florida. I won't see y'all until December. I won't see y'all until December, but I want to say this to Black Florida. I want to say this to Black Florida. I don't know if Sister AJ's children have a father who can take care of them. I don't know if they have aunts or uncles who can take care of them. I don't know if they have a cousin who can take care of them. But I want to say this to Black Florida right now. I want to say this to Black Florida right now. And my Instagram is about to go out in 40 seconds. I will restart it. My Instagram is about to go out in 40 seconds, but I will restart it. I want to say this to Black Florida. We better not let family services put those children in foster care. I'm talking to Black Florida right now. I'm talking to every Negro in the state of Florida. Y'all better not let the system take her children. The least thing we can do as a Black community is share in the responsibility of taking care of those 4 children. If y'all let the state take those babies, we as Black America cannot let the state take those children, brothers and sisters. We cannot let the state take those children, brothers and sisters.